What's going on YouTube? American Prepper here, and today's video is going to be talking about the importance of food and water. And everyone knows that that's important, but it's very taken for granted, especially in America and Western countries. I feel that with everything going on, there will be lots of food shortages and there will be lots of price increases. I mean, we're already seeing it at the grocery store for basic goods. We're seeing it at the gas pump. We're seeing it almost in everything. Rents are skyrocketing. The housing market is out of control. It seems like the middle class is just disappearing and we're being priced out of everything. And, like something as simple as a steak just is almost more of a luxury item than it used to be. You used to be able to buy a steak, every Friday for a cookout. Now it's maybe once a month, if that. Prices by me are just through the roof. I currently live in the city, and I'm looking to get out as soon as possible, but I rent in an apartment, and I will be doing a series of videos on how to prep for those living in the city in a apartment. Sorry, but that's not very talked about, is how to prep for those living in apartments. But I feel like homelessness will rise, and there will be a lot more homeless people with what's going on and what's coming up in the future. It's pretty sad, but if people can't eat and people can't work and people can't get gas to go to work, there will eventually be riots, and there will be a lack of food disparity. And it's sad, but it's a true statement. And I believe that the way we are headed right now, it's not looking too good. And I just hope that, I pray for the best that it doesn't get to that point, but every single day that passes, it looks more and more likely. And it's more important now than ever to pay off your debts. Don't rack up large amounts of credit card debt. Don't buy stupid purchases. Don't go into massive debt for a brand new truck. I drive used vehicles as much as possible. My girlfriend and I, we both drive used vehicles, and we try to stay out of debt as much as possible. And we live in a cheaper apartment in a decent area. We're not renting out, the nicest possible place ever. It's a decent place, but it's not a place that I'm worried about being evicted from, because of the fact that I do not want to be homeless, and I will bust my ass to be able to work hard and to be able to maintain my life and my liveliness. And I hope it doesn't get to that point where, I will have to just work for food, and there's a point where money will be worthless, and that would not be an ideal situation. But I recommend having tons of stocked food. And if you're just starting out, I started off with just a week of supply of food. If everything shut down, my family and I could survive for a week, and that's it. That's how I started, and that's just based off how much I eat, caloric intake, and how much water I would need for the day. That's how I started, and then I would go up to maybe a month after that, and then after 1 month, 3 months, and that can be very hard to do, but it is possible. I mean, every time you go to the grocery store, pick up a few extra cans of food, pick up a few extra cases of water, sock them away, store them away, pick up rice, beans, all that kind of stuff, cooking oil, medicine. All that kind of stuff is so important. And if you got to think about your pets too, pet food, you got to think about all that kind of stuff when it comes to prepping. So I'm a novice prepper. I've been prepping ever since the pandemic hit, and I've been always kind of a prepper my whole life. My dad and my grandparents instilled that into me, but I got way more serious about it since the 2020 pandemic, and that just has opened my eyes to how much we're living in a very fragile world, a really fragile society. If you look at Los Angeles and how much homeless encampments have popped up, it's really sad to see. And it's really sad to see, a lot of the homeless people, they're working homeless, and that's even sadder. So do everything you can to enjoy what you have now, but also put in place preparation plans so that you can eventually maybe move out of the city and maybe move into a homestead or someplace in the country. With the housing market the way it is, it just seems like we're being priced out. We're being priced out of the market. I mean, I make a decent income, so is my girl. I'm a pipe fitter. My girlfriend's a nurse. We make decent money. And a lot of these places that are available for sale are just bonkers. The prices and the cost of them. People are over offering $100,000, $200,000 on some places that are desirable. And then how can I compete with that? You really can't. So it's getting more and more concerning. But that's my advice. Start off with 1 week. Just 1 week. That's the bare minimum. Start off with that and then go from there. And don't use that food unless it's about to expire, then use it up and replenish it. But don't use that food for anything else other than an emergency. I also recommend having some bug out bags in case you would need to leave to go outside the city and live with a relative or a friend. I recommend having, in my bug out bags, I have 48 hours of food and water in each bug out bag for my girlfriend and I. And it's important to have that ready to go. So if that's all you can grab, that's all you can grab. But that's just pretty much today's video was a little shorter, but I will be doing a video on how to prep for those living in an apartment. And I know that's not ideal, but some people don't really have another option. And it's hard to live in the city because if riots would ever break out, that would be the first place that would go just crazy. And so with that being said, thank you for watching. I'm out.